Where did white people come from? The Tanya Williams piece, you say albinos. That's interesting. Can white people genetically, are they genetically equal with black people? You know, a lot of people call this hate teaching, but it's actually truth teaching. That they hate is just truths about dominant and recessive genes and traits and the power of genetics, the black genetics versus white genetics. And that's not hate teaching, it's just the facts is what white people hate. It's hated. It's hated teaching. It's not hate teaching. It's teaching that's hated by many white people. So yeah, from us, Contra TV, our recessive genes, Chocolat, Maurice Dasher, I forgot the island where they was grafted. You know, we taught Patmos or Pilon, the island of Pilon, but we don't even have to believe that. All that's still stuff that none of us was there. So those are just stories that we all at the mercy of having to believe. I don't care if it was a person named Yakub or it was an island called Patmos or Pilon or whatever. Let's just look at what we can prove. Let's look at what we can prove, genetically speaking. Can we prove that white people cannot produce anything else but white? Can white people produce their polar opposite? Can they produce a black bino? You know, like we can produce an albino or white. You know, can they produce a black? Can they produce a mutation of that's their opposite, like black people can? Right? So black people can produce and have produced, you know, the darkest ones in Africa, you know, they're going to be the darkest person you can find on the planet can produce the lightest person you can find on the planet, which is their opposite, which is an albino. So that proves that there's some power, some genetic power in the original black people that's not present in white people. White people cannot produce their opposite. They cannot produce nothing but themselves, right? So that's what I want to talk about. Is that strength? Is that a strength? Is that a power? Is that equal power with black genetics? Their own scientists, their own geneticists, Dr. Mendel and Dr. Leakey. If y'all ever had biology in school, they was the ones. These are white scientists, top leading white scientists. And we're not talking about Darwin and they his little fairy tales. I'm talking about the geneticists that study that and prove that the law of dominant and recessive genes and traits. Dominant means dark eyes, dark hair, dark skin. Dominant means stronger. Recessive means light eyes, light hair, light skin. Recessive means weak. These are just scientific words for strong and weak. Are strong and weak equal? Is weak equal with strong? Can weak produce strong, or can strong produce weak? Can light produce darkness? Can light produce darkness, or does everything come out of darkness? Does darkness produce everything, including light? GD. Even then, the regular human couldn't hang with the white unless we get these shots we get from the doctors. Oh, y'all have another reverse vitiligo. Reverse vitiligo. The black and the brown germ. Yeah, that's dominant and recessive genes and traits. White people came from the original black nation. White people came from the recessive gene that's in the original black nation. An original black person, and all people, but in original black people, there exists two genes, or dominant genes and traits, and a recessive. Dominant, we call them a person, a potential people, a germ. A life germ, a dominant germ and a recessive germ, a black germ and a brown germ. In the black nation, the dominant strong germ or gene and trait is black. The recessive one is brown. It's a little lighter than the black. So by killing off that blacker one and marrying selective breed and finding a brown or a lighter skinned child in this family and somebody else, African over there, you know, has a lighter daughter and you got a lighter son, and y'all marry those two lighter shade black people onto each other, and keep that process up for 200 years. After that process of marrying those lighter ones on, you know, each child have a little lighter child in their family. You keep on marrying those lighter ones on, like you do horses or cows or goats or dogs or weed, you know what I'm saying, called selective breeding. You know, it's grafting out. Keep that process up, and then you're going to produce an all brown race of people. And now in that brown race of people, brown is the dominant gene, and yellow is the recessive. In that brown people, brown is the dominant, yellow is now that brown race, they're gonna have a child every so often that's a little lighter brown, that's kind of yellowish. You find a yellowish, you know, girl over here and a yellowish boy, and you marry them on it. You know, you keep that process up for another 200 years, and you're going to produce an all yellow race of people. Now in that yellow people, yellow is the dominant gene, and the recessive gene is white. So in that yellow community, you're gonna find a little child that's a little whiter than just yellow, and you marry that little boy on with a little whiter girl, and keep that up for another 200 years, which is a complete 600 years. That's part of the 666. The mark of the beast is also the mark of a man. That's how the man of sin, or the Caucasian race, the Adamic or the Adamite, the man of sin, was made from the original people. It took 600 years. And it was made from 60,000 original black people doing this selective breeding process. And they was prophesied that they would only last, their rule would only last 6,000 years. So that's the 666. 6 is not an evil number. There's no such thing as an evil number or a devil number. The whole universe is created off of the number 6. 6 just means incompletion. But all numbers are holy. All numbers are righteous. There's no evil number. You know what I'm saying? If you look at a honeycomb, you know, the like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. It's, you know, it's 6 sides to a honeycomb. That's a you'll find that everywhere in nature. This creation was built on the number 6. That's not a demonic or devilish number. It's just a number of incompletion or dissatisfaction. That means that the God is not finished in this creation process. So he's dissatisfied with the present stage or phase, and is pushing it to the final stage, which is 9. 9 is the number of completion. And then after that, you start over. So you can build everything on that. You can perfect it. So it took 600 years to graft the white race out of the original black people through a process of genetic engineering called grafting out, or selective breeding. That's what white people are. That's where they came from. And like the sister said, albinism, us producing albinos, was the sign that let us know that we had a whole nother person, a whole new race of people that can be produced out of us. But albinos are not Caucasian or not white people. Albino is just a sign or a mutation that showed that there was the potential for a whole white race living within us, dormant within us. So we went through the selective breeding process to bring it all the way out. Albinos are black. You know, I'm talking about, you know, black people that get together and produce a white albino. That's not a white person. That's just a mutation, meaning that's ultra black. That's black to the second power, and it produced white. That's how the sun got out there. You know, that's not white. That's not the white race. Yeah. So let's get on that vitamin D. Dr. Kaba is off. Dr. Kaba is off. He thinks this vitamin D deficiency made whites. Exactly. So I don't know if y'all seen that video I did with this little white boy and other people like Vlad, and they talking about what's the dude name? Bill Nye, the science guy. Yeah, he talking about white people are white because of a lack of fish, a vitamin D diet. Fish or the sun, as though fish ain't everywhere, or you can't get vitamin D, you know, or people that's deficient of vitamin D, they didn't turn white. How long does this process take exactly? White people who believe that a lack of vitamin D or a lack of fish diet produced your whiteness. How long did that take? How long have y'all been living in Africa now, and y'all ain't got y'all melanin back? You know, how long does this take again? You know, so this is the nature of the lying scientist. The Satan that deceives the whole world. They have to be scientists. They have to be authorities that the whole world looks to as and trusts as their authorities. You know, the same ones that said that there was dinosaurs. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all believe there was dinosaurs? Do you know that they only discovered the first dinosaur in England? White people in England discovered the first dinosaurs in like 1800s or something, like the late or mid 1800s. So you mean to tell me Native Americans and Egyptians and Kemet, you know, we've been digging up, you know, indigenous people been digging up the, you know, planting, you know, Easter Island, and you know, it's so many Olmec and Toltec and pyramids deep, you know, buried under the, and we never came across no dinosaurs. There was no dinosaurs written of on a hieroglyph, the walls of the pyramid. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's no dinosaurs mentioned in the Bible. There's no dinosaurs, you know. So how would white people be the first ones to discover these giant dinosaur, so-called dinosaurs and dinosaur bones just in 1800s in Europe? Right? So my point is, the devil is a liar. They're professional liars. They will go get degrees from universities just to fool you, just so they can have the authority and the letters and the respect and the prestige and shit to be able to lie to you about something. They're going to lie to you that you need this vaccine because they know you're not a scientist. Dr. Fauci is the scientist. Dr. Fauci is the experts. The CDC is the experts. They know more about your genetics and your biology than you do. So they must be telling the truth because they're the top scientists. They run the CDC or the World Health Organization. So they must know more than you. They must be telling the truth because their organization is the world's health. No, those are the Satans that been genocide and destroying you since you've been here. So you can believe who you want to believe, but I know something about history and prophecy, and I read books now. So if I'm my age, just because some white person didn't validate me with their diploma or their degree, they didn't validate Malcolm X or Elijah Muhammad either, and he whooped their ass. They whooped all the scholars of this world ass, and Elijah Muhammad only completed the third grade. Third grade. Malcolm X only completed the 8th grade, and you know he was educated in prison by reading a dictionary. Why was they tearing up Harvard and Yale and Princeton scholars and professors? So we don't need no, you know, no white coat and no letters, PhDs and no such and such behind our name. We got a brain. We got an original brain. We don't have a weak grafted, diluted, selective breeding brain. We have an original brain. All we gotta do is use it. All we gotta do is critical think, question everything. You know what I'm saying? You say dinosaur paintings have been discovered on paintings from early men. Really? Where at? Where at? Where's these dinosaurs? And if you're living, let me school y'all on something. If you I don't know why this went dark so fast. Y'all know what the heaviest mammal on Earth is? Why did it go dark? Let me try this. Heaviest mammal known, you know, on Earth is like a blue whale, right? Do you know that the air pressure of the Earth? The Earth is approximately 25,000 miles in circumference, 6 sextillion tons. right? I don't know if you know about this, the air pressure, square inch of air pressure. There's the biggest mammal is a blue whale. Do you know why it lives in water and not on land? Do you know why a blue whale lives in water? Or all those big whales, anything heavier than an elephant. Do you know why the elephant, can barely move around or whatever, or a rhinoceros, they can't lay down too long? Because their own weight will crush themselves. They will crush their internal organs. So you trying to tell me on this same planet with the gravitational pull and pressure of this planet, the spin of this planet rotating at 1,037 and a third miles per hour, is going to be able to sustain something as heavy as what you call like a brontosaurus or whatever? They couldn't even exist because they're too heavy. Their own organs would crush themselves. Something that heavy can only live in water. An animal that heavy can only live in water. That's why blue whales don't die, because they're floating. They don't feel the pressure of the weight of that. As soon as they wash up on the shore, they're dead. They're dead because they're too heavy. Gravity is too heavy, and they'll crush. Their internal organs will crush themselves. So ain't no damn such thing as no dinosaurs. You had slightly larger animals. Yeah, you might have had like a woolly mammoth or something like that. But as far as them fairy tale Tyrannosaurus Rexes and all that, brontosauruses, pure bullshit. Never happened. Never existed. Never existed. Well, they found bones. For real? Prove it. Prove it. They're lying because they was trying to further a narrative that there's no such thing as God, and the original people are not the original God. That was all part of their satanic narrative, to say that man came from prehistoric, Neanderthals and all this kind of stuff, and once upon a time only dinosaurs ruled the earth and all that. All lies. All lies. Yep. Where they at today? How can any ancestors, like if it's supposed to be if lizards or alligators or whatever, like how did they survive if some ice age was supposedly killed the dinosaurs? Why they didn't come back? Like why they didn't come back the same size? If their ancestors supposedly came back and nothing else happened, we came back, everything else came back. Like where's the why they didn't come back? Why no animal came back that big? Why animals ain't that big no more? So let me go on my they constructed bones. All that's CGI. All of that. It just started in the 1800s with white folks in Europe. Do your research. Once y'all leave here, go to Wikipedia or something like that, and look at where they said the first dinosaur bones was discovered. Do you mean to tell me as many millions and millions, or just if you don't believe that, just as many thousands of years as old as the pyramids are, and as deep as, you see the pyramids go deep, white people in Europe was digging deeper than that to find dinosaur bones in 1800s? Man, if y'all knock it off. So the original people that have been here for thousands and hundred thousands and millions of years, they never dug up no dinosaur bones. They've been digging longer and deeper than white people was digging in 1800s. Now they so easy to find. Now all of a sudden you got La Brea tar pits. Now it's supposed to be some big, dinosaurs and shit. Brontosaurus is over there off of La Brea and shit. Down the street from Roscoe's and shit, like the Beverly Center. Man, you gotta knock this shit off. But they lying to you in your face. They just told you that the top scientists told you that the building 7, Twin Towers, 9/11 came down by itself. No plane hit it. The top scientists told you. Don't believe your eyes. Don't believe your intelligent brain. No, that building didn't have no explosives in it. That building came down from fire that was, I don't know, some office papers and shit. And a couple of desks was on fire for a few hours, and it brought that whole building 7 down in his own footprint and free fall speed. That's what your scientist, that's what your white scientist is telling you. Yeah, you still want to go by that? You still want to bet on white? Y'all still want to bet on white? And put your chips up. I'm gonna take that bet. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Man, there was saber-toothed lions in Pacoima foothills back in the day. Saber-toothed lions is not dinosaurs. So how big was a saber-toothed lion? I'm not, like I said, I just said a woolly mammoth. There might have been other species. Son of Ra. Keep going, west up. CPT in the building. Peace. Thank you, fam. Son of Ra. That could have, there's a lot of extinct animals now. There's animals that probably existed. It was other species of tigers or lions or something, but was they giants? How big was a saber-toothed lion? How big was that? That's not no damn dinosaur. There's all kind of animals that's extinct now. That's what dinosaurs are supposed to be. Just an old animal that's extinct. No, we talking about these so-called big ass giant building size animals, the size of a building or something like that. I'm talking about no little tigers and whatever. No, I'm talking about the big, Jurassic Park ones, the big Jurassic Park giant ass animals that never existed. Nigga got all kind of flat. Nigga. Oh, people from the cosmos and other planets. Let me see what we talking about. T-Rex. I don't believe in T-Rex with the little bitty arms. Yeah, a little bitty arm. Like, what's the science of that? How do they got big ass legs and no arms? Like, what's the point of nature or whatever making some big ass legs and a big ass tail with arms that you can't even use or reach for that? Like, whatever. Like, it is animals, but why make them giant? Like, you know what I'm saying? And how is little lizards, like I said, and alligators and Gila monsters or whatever, those supposed to be direct descendants? Why they ain't 80 feet tall? You know what I'm saying? What happened? Like, explain to me, you know what I'm saying, with y'all scientific belief or theory. Get your best scientists together and explain to me how they shrank to 6 inches. How they went from 60 feet to 6 inches. Like, what happened? What ice age made that happen, or what, evolution, or what, what's y'all explanation for that? How do motherfuckers get from giant status to, you can catch them running on the wall in your backyard? Oh man. You say, how does a plane land? How does a plane land? All the bones that they find from giants of Nephilim. Show me some giant Nephilim. Show me some giant Nephilim. Those is all stories. Those is all ghost stories. Those are stories. Show proof. Show and prove. In the nation, we all from Missouri. We are from the state of Missouri. That means you got to show me. You're from the show me state. Show and prove. We can all tell fabulous stories about what we seen, or no, I actually seen a ghost and I seen this. Show me. All you have to do is show me. We're talking science now. Science means something that you can prove, show and prove. So you can talk Nephilim, you can talk alien, you can talk all of that, but you cannot prove it. I can show you some pyramids in Giza with human beings painted on the walls. You know what I'm saying? There's other characters on there, like dudes with bird falcon faces and stuff like that. I have yet to see a human with a falcon face, so I can't believe that was actually talking about humans with falcon faces. I have to believe that was symbolic language, and just like we got today. You show me these Nephilim and Anunnaki, and then I'll believe you, but you're not going to be able to show them to me. So, and that story comes from the Bible. That comes from the Bible. And the Bible been stepped on so many times. The Bible talk about it in those days, there were giants that walked the earth, right? And the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they was fair, and took them as wives, and had sex with them and had children, and the children were giants. That's not talking about no extra tall, big people. That's talking about the original black nation. Those are the sons of God, and they saw the daughters of men, meaning fair. They saw white people. The original people saw white people. We was the gods, and we was not supposed to be mixing or race mixing with the sons of men, the little men, the new race of people that we made. But opposites attract, and some of us failed. It's supposed to be fallen angels. These are just black people that broke the rules and started cohabitating, grabbing. They was fascinated and intrigued by these new white women, and they start race mixing with them and produce giants that couldn't. They had an appetite that couldn't be fed by either parents, or they consumed the parents. Meaning those offspring, those biracial offspring at that time, had a conflict in their own nature. So they couldn't be properly educated. They had questions that couldn't be fed by either parent, because they was made out of something that wasn't supposed to be mixed in the first place. So they became giants, meaning they had something of the knowledge of good and evil, because they was made out of both natures. They was made out of both people. So they had a different struggle. They had different questions. They had a different appetite that neither one of their parents could satisfy, because the parents wasn't supposed to be doing that in the first place. The original sons of God, the black nation, was not supposed to be mating with white women. You know what I'm saying? So that's symbolic language. That's not no literal, there was giants and such and giants in the land. We was the giants. Meant the giants here. We was gods. We was rulers of the universe. We're the rulers of the universe. We was the rulers of the planet. We the one that put all of these ley lines and the pyramids aligned with the star system, Sirius and Orion and all of that. We regulate this. But we put ourselves to sleep, because we knew that we was producing the new man, or the atom, and giving them dominion and power to rule our planet and rule over us for 6 days or 6,000 years. The Bible says a day is like 1,000 years with the Lord. So we gave Adam, the white race, 6 days to rule. And on the 7th day, or the 7,000th year, then we would put them to rest. That's where you get the 7th-day Adventist and the Sabbath day and all of that. That's all symbolic language of the time we gave the white race, the Adamite, the Adamic race, to rule our planet and rule over us while we put ourselves to sleep. So we the salt of the earth. Oh yeah, we the Alpha and the Omega. We're the maker, the owner. We're the mother and fathers of civilization, all life, all human life. That's why I asked the question, where did white people come from? White people came from black people.